Hello, hello. Welcome TikTok, welcome YouTube, welcome everybody. Let's talk today about hormones, about good hormones and how they influence us. And I'm actually going to give you symptoms, and maybe you have them, maybe you don't. But if you have particular symptoms, I will tell you what are you missing and how to replenish it. Now, I do want to tell you that I'm not a microbiologist. I have nothing. I'm not nutritionist. I have nothing to do. I have no medical, obviously, expertise. But I will share you the knowledge that was given to me, and hopefully, it might be useful to you as well. Now, the reason why I decided to record it, I was actually going through my old journals, and I remember how impressed I was by this kind of information. I was like, why didn't I ever did why haven't I ever did a video on this? So it is kind of important now. I think I know why I never did a video on hormones, because I do push the energy into the masses so much, and I firmly believe and I know that if your energy is balanced, if it's really like really good, if you really balance your energy in your aura and therefore within your body, you will never have the issues with the hormones. But we live in such society that not everybody's energy is balanced. I would say only very few people have balanced energy. So I'm going to give this information. So when I had this when I got this information, I was somewhat impressed, and I did took certain things in consideration, and obviously I did the actions to increase what I had to increase, and sometimes I do give it to my clients. Now, there is a saying, and I really love it. So I'm not sure who said it, but I know it's somebody famous. Whether it's not or not, still doesn't matter. I will tell you the saying. Maybe if you know who said it, if you can share it with me. The saying goes: men rule the world, women rule men, and hormones rule women. This is actually absolutely true. Women do depend on hormones, and not necessarily more than men. It just the hormones that are more influential in human body, in a feminine body, is they're more emotional. So it seems like they affect women more. In truth, they are not really. Men also get affected by the hormones. It just it's not as as obvious, so to say. Now our as I said, we have issues with the hormones because we actually because of our lifestyle. So our energy is not balanced because we're not rooted. We're Thank you. Thank you. I love your name. So we are not rooted in the material world, obviously, and our lifestyles are we're always on the computers, on the phones, on TV. So it's like we are not where we're supposed to be. Our mind and our body are not yet adjusted to our this new lifestyle because it's really very it's really very recent kind of that our lifestyle became like this, depending on basically on the computers and the phones and just staying at home. So if you and our brain chemistry is not balanced, our energy is not balanced, and that's what it is basically. That's why we have issues with hormones. I actually have a friend. She's a doctor. We used to be in high school together, and then she went into medical school, into college medical school, and she became a doctor. She's not some. She's actually a pediatrician, so she works with kids a little bit. She told me that she never saw so many like teenagers, like almost even kids that have such huge hormonal disbalance. So we are not kids. Nobody who is watching me is a child. So, but still, we do have these issues, and I had at one point as well. Now, most hormones, whether you believe it or not, as a Reiki master, I assure you, most hormones are corresponding to particular energy centers, and I will tell you which ones. And today I'm going to talk about dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin, and the last one, which one? The good hormone. So serotonin, of course, how without it? Now, these are the hormones that make us happy, that actually make us human, so to say, that make us lovable, that give us pleasure, and these are the hormones that we need. Now, these are also the hormones that have an opposite effect. Like, for example, oxytocin. It bonds us to people, but it also we have trust in people, or we have distrust, depending on how good we are with this hormone. Now, anyways, let's start with so basically, if because they all correspond to particular chakras, if you have balanced energy and balanced aura, you will have no problems with your hormones. I guarantee you that. I had issues with hormones. I don't have issues with hormones now, obviously, because my energy is balanced. But sometimes when I go into like sometimes when I was traveling, I would eat not so good, and I could feel almost this disbalance. No matter what I was doing, it still was not good enough to keep me where I'm supposed to be when in my good energy, when I ground and I will work with my energy. All right, so let's start with dopamine. And dopamine is really interesting hormone. It's actually so dopamine is in our third chakra and also in our sixth chakra. This hormone is released when we do something pleasurable, like when you eat something sweet. That's the dopamine that comes out, and you feel so like on the on the seventh sky. I mean, it's an amazing feeling. Or not necessarily just sugar; it could be anything tasty, something that you really really like. Also, it comes out like the dopamine is released when you do something, when you have like a really good conversation with somebody, like inspiring conversation, like you really not necessarily you bonding with somebody, but like a really inspiring conversation. Remember, on the sixth chakra. So dopamine is basically responsible for our brain remembering pleasurable moments, and it's important really. And often people are looking for this pleasurable moments, and they can get like somewhat addicted even to certain things just to get those pleasurable moments again. That's why I have unspoken little war with sugar, because I don't want anybody and myself to get used to get these patterns of seeking dopamine outside when you can find it inside. Now, when your dopamine is low, this is how you would feel. You would feel like procrastinating, depressed. You might even have, as I mentioned here, various addictions. So different like addictions that bring you some kind of pleasure, some kind of high. That's you're looking for dopamine, and you can get it back. You don't need to. If you work with your third or your sixth chakra, you will get it. You don't really need to, but I will tell you what you need to do anyways. So but this is if you feel like depressed, like procrastinate, like you don't want to do nothing, like you don't know what to do. That's what basically happens. You have low dopamine, and you need to do something about that. Why? Because remember, it's third and sixth chakra. So on the sixth chakra you have a vision. Now, when you don't have a vision, you procrastinate. And third chakra is your actions, your strengths, your strong intention. If you don't have that, you obviously also not sure. You become depressed. You're looking for that some kind of fix outside that can bring you some kind of pleasure. So low dopamine is actually dangerous. Could be dangerous um, because because chronic depression can really get you. And when you probably know yourself, at least from history, that there are a lot of people who actually overdose on this, on that, just searching for that dopamine high, right? So what to do? For dopamine, I would suggest you to reduce using the phones, computers, like get away a little bit from this kind of. You need to reconnect with your body. You see, when you are always outside your aura, looking at something, searching for something, it's very hard to get yourself to get yourself high. How? Because you are outside, you're in somebody else's life or something. Now, what else you can do? You can clean the house, or even clean yourself. You can clean your closet. You can maybe even like have a to-do list, and you just write every day a to-do list, and you Why? Because this will clear your energy. Once you have the energy will clear up a little bit, you will have a vision. It will be, it's like you're more open to something new. So this is really, like, I always tell my clients, and when I had issues long time ago with the woman, I used to do it myself. Like, I would write every morning what I need to do, even if it's going to be go to the store, buy bread, and then cook yourself something, and then I don't know, and then read the 50 pages of a book. Once you will, like, check out those tasks, your body is like, you getting this boost of dopamine. So what else could be? So basically, you also need to work on the third and sixth chakras. This is pretty easy. You just breathe through them slowly. Make sure don't squeeze them, especially your third chakra. You don't want the dopamine to come very hard. And what else would be good is cold showers or cold plunges. That's actually amazing. Why? Because it activates your inner fire, your third chakra. So I never did cold plunges in my life. I don't think so. I mean, when I was little, um, we used to like rub snow on ourselves for this kind of purpose. I don't know for what. My father, he used to do it with me and my brother. So anyway, but I never did cold plunges, but I know it's very popular. But what I did though, and not once, but like very often, I do it after I take a shower, after I'm done with all my shower routine. I stay in the cold shower, like cold shower for like 1 or 2 minutes. And I know when your body could not breathe and you just stay in there, but then you have this kind of it's an amazing feeling. And I advise you, if you could not stay 1 or 2 minutes, you could do like 15 seconds. So but you need to stand with your head like all together in there, like, and feel that. If you can do also, you can like have a bucket of cold water and just pour it. I did that too. So yeah, this would really help you with dopamine. Really will help you. If you could not do nothing else, do that. I mean, that's pretty easy. We're all taking showers, and showers, what they take a few minutes. So basically, dopamine is some kind of it's like you're looking for some kind of reward for something. So if you will have your own achievements, you wouldn't need to. So as I said, you can just write down to-do list and then take care of that to-do list, like I did. And even if it's something you think completely unimportant, still for your mind, for your brain, it's important. You will activate, but that's what you do. All right. So the next one is endorphins. You remember when I was young, there was this movie Legally Blonde, and the girl, the main character, she used to say, "I don't believe she killed her husband, because people who exercise, they produce endorphins, and they're happy people, and endorphins make you happy, and happy people don't kill their husbands." So endorphins, yes, they do promote not only they do make you happy, but they also, besides that, they promote your well-being. They support your immune system really good. They support your memory, and reduce the pain and stress. So usually, if you cut yourself or something and there is pain, it will be the endorphins that will be kind of reducing it. Now, how do you feel when your endorphins are low? You will feel stressed and angry. So if you have this anger issues and you are not the energy of fire person, or if you feel constantly stressed, then probably your endorphins are low. Now, endorphins, where are they here? Endorphins, um, endorphins are interesting. So they correspond to the second chakra and the crown chakra. So the second chakra is basically your pleasure, your excitement in life, and the crown chakra is your connection to the space around you, to the divine, to the energy. So it's this kind of absolute bliss when you don't feel your body and you're just floating there, and basically the pleasure. So endorphin. So if you do want to increase your endorphins, basically you need to work on. So it gives you this kind of euphoria, like like almost out of body experience. You see, when dopamine is very, you can feel it. Endorphins is something different. It's something that is you almost don't feel. And and what you can do to increase endorphins, except for working with the second chakra and your crown chakra. So if you are a woman, you have to work with the second chakra. That's non-negotiable. You can do my course. You can watch my videos and do them. And I have videos on every single chakra. You can do that. So with them, with endorphins, so it's not only necessarily working on those two chakras. What else you can do? You can watch something funny. So maybe you like a comedy, some kind of show or something. You can just watch and laugh. Now, if it's not funny, you can fake laugh like this, like, oh. I mean, fake laugh just doesn't work with me. But you basically can force yourself to laugh. And if you will continue laughing, at one point, you will see you will start feeling better. It's funny, but it does work. How do I know? Because I tried it a long time ago. And basically, so this is the thing. You need to increase pleasure. But this pleasure doesn't come from achievements like with dopamine. This pleasure comes from you, your body, how you feel it. Your second chakra is your inner pleasure, the pleasure that comes from your body. And the crown chakra is basically the pleasure that basically it comes because you're connecting yourself to the outside world. So that's why it's important. Now, when you are laughing, it's like you're getting pleasure inside your own body. It's interesting. I used to do it. So my mentor used to tell me every time you feel like down, start laughing. And I used to do it in my car. I would sit and I would start laughing because I was afraid that if I do it in my apartment, my neighbors will think that I'm crazy. And it did really improve. It helped me quite a few times. It sounds a little weird, you just like, you feel like that you're not on delusion, like you're almost crazy, but it does help. What else can you do to increase your endorphins? Exercise, obviously. You need to exercise, but not like go for a brisk, like for a lazy walk. It has to be something hard, like really, like walk up the mountain or like something. Go for a run. So something that will use it. So you would basically some kind of weightlifting, like something heavy. After, so you wouldn't produce the endorphins are produced after you work out, and you'll see I mean, I love that feeling when you're just like you're just flowing. It's amazing. What else? Obviously, since it's second chakra, being intimate with somebody, that's amazing thing. You can that really increases endorphins. If you have a man, and make sure though it's you who initiating the intimacy, then do that. What else? Saunas are really good, and baths, but make sure don't lay in bath for too long. Why? Because it's second chakra, so you need to be connected to the water. Not cold plunges like we did with the oh my god, I already forgot. With the dopamine, sorry, but the sauna is something warm water. I mean, if you can go to the beach, would be ideal too. But look, it is what it is. Then what else? I told you about laughing, also singing. So if you can sing, if you do sing, what else could be like? Even if you are talking out loud, like if you like almost screaming, make sure though that it comes from your second chakra. Singing is good though because it includes a lot of your energy centers. So singing is good. I never did that. I did the laughs though. What else? The good diet, obviously, but that one is for every single one of those, because healthy diet again promotes healthy energy, and with healthy energy, you basically, whether you want it or not, you will have good hormones and good sleep. For the second chakra, good sleep is crucial. You could not feel pleasure if you don't have covered like your basic needs, and the basic needs is food, good food hopefully, and basically good rest, and just no worries like that. So that's what you do for the endorphins. Again, if you're feeling angry or stressed, then your endorphins are low, and you need to raise them. Again, it is second and seventh chakra, and how you work on them. Again, I have videos. I'm not going to put them all in the description, but you can write me. I will send it to you in the comments or something. But you can just breeze through them. It's not that hard, honestly. So and do everything that I said. Now, the next one will be serotonin. I love this hormone. This hormone. So I was friends with this hormone and not friends, and it's funny. All right, so serotonin regulates the mood. Well, just like I think most of them, but I guess it does more. It also regulates the sleep. If you have problems sleeping, then you have problems with serotonin. Now, it also helps with digestion. And there were times when I used to have issues with digestion, not because I was like conscious about my weight or anything like that. It just had because I had low serotonin and I was worried about certain things, anxious. So this is what it is. Now it does regulate all that. Now low serotonin. So if you have these issues, you have a low serotonin, and you basically need to do something about it. The issues are you're constantly worried, you're tired, sad, or anxious. So if you are any of this, if you're like really anxious, worried, especially if you are any of this, if you're constantly tired, like constantly you woke up and you're still tired, then you have a low serotonin. Now, serotonin is it's basically your second chakra. Not only the second chakra, but it's also your heart chakra. So you would need to work with that with those two. Now, just a second. Where did I lost it? All right. So what can you do? So it's you basically your second chakra and your root chakra. What did I say? Second? No, your root chakra and your fourth chakra. So your heart and your grounding. Now, and that's why you feel anxious, because you are not grounded enough. Serotonin. So how to fix it? With serotonin, you need to make sure that you have enough vitamin D. And I would rather you not taking vitamin D. I used to take vitamin D, but I would rather you spend time on the sun. And you don't need that much really time. You just need, I think, like 20 minutes on the sun, and you don't need to be like in the like peak hours. You can go in the morning for a little walk, and that would be perfect, like at least 15-20 minutes. And if you think that you need to live in Florida on some hot climate to get sun, no, it could be any kind of sun. So even if it's winter sun, it still will work. So morning sunlight would be perfect. Now I am not the morning person, so I wouldn't lie. I'm not. I wish I wake up at 7 and go for a walk. I don't do that. Wouldn't even pretend, but that would be ideal. I usually go for a run or so around 11-12, so not the best time, but still it's better than nothing. So morning sunlight. Then what else could be a really good sleep? Now it's so funny because serotonin regulates sleep, but it also needs good sleep for it to be produced. So no watching Netflix until morning, no going out too late. So basically, you need to have to have good sleep. What else? Also, natural foods. So simple foods would be good. They do ground you. Nothing too complicated. No, not too like simple food, natural foods. Because remember, this is the first chakra. You need to ground yourself to the world around you, and this is simple food. You could not ground yourself with sugary food. That won't work. So something you have like meat could be really. I don't eat meat, but fish, eggs, vegetables would do good really. All right, what else? So breathing. I have a whole video on breathing, but breathing really does help with producing more serotonin. So it has to be slow breathing, like not only slow, but it has to be somewhat rhythmical breathing. Like you breathe on 10 in, 10 out, like that, or 5 counts in, 5 counts hold, 5 counts out, 5 counts hold, like that. So it has to be slow breathing, slow, deliberately slow breathing, and it has to be rhythmical. So you could not just breathe, then hold, and then breathe like this, at least for 5-10 minutes. Some kind of exercise. Now here, the exercise is not doesn't have to be hard exercise, because again, we're moving the energy, but we're not really we're not increasing any kind of fire or in any kind of chakras, right? So this would be perfect to go for a walk. As I said, to go in the morning for a walk. You will get the morning sunlight, and plus you will get a little exercise. It would be just ideal. Like, I wish, I don't know. Maybe I will sell it to myself. What else could be good? I told you about the foods, and so the food has to have tryptophan. And as I told just now, it's fish, chicken, nuts, eggs, dairy. Now, that's why in so many cultures they do drink milk before going to sleep, because it kind of calms you down. Now, I don't drink milk, but sometimes when I could not sleep, I go when I eat like an egg. Sometimes if I don't want to cook an egg, then I just eat like a piece of cheese. Also, because you see, it does happen, then I fall asleep really, really fast. Even though neither of those are my favorite foods, but I know that I will fall asleep after them. I mean, if fish would be easy to cook, or if I have cooked fish, I would eat that or something. So something like that, or nuts. Also, if you are vegetarian, nuts are really good. Also in here. So that was serotonin. That's the hormone that regulates your mood. Again, this is your force and your root chakra. So if you want to develop more of that, do kind of breathe through them. And the last one today, at least, is oxytocin, the love hormone. They say that oxytocin is developed in pregnant women, and not only in pregnant women, also in pregnant mammals, so animals. So the mother will bond to her child, and will not abandon the newborn baby, and would feed the baby, so the baby can survive and kind of grow and then become somebody, right? Now, it was deliberately done by nature. You basically producing it, and if you know that this pregnant woman in their last trimester, I think they're really producing a lot of oxytocin, and right after they had the baby as well, so they have the breast milk and they can feed the baby, and that's how it is. Now, it is called love hormone because it's responsible for our bonding with people, not only mother-infant kind of bonding, but also bonding with anybody, really. All our relationship with our families, with our partners, with our kids, with them, with even our pets. This is all oxytocin. Now, it's more dominant in women, obviously, but men do also have this hormone. It's produced in men when they're intimate with women, so that's probably when they're the most feminine, I guess. Now, low oxytocin, if you have low oxytocin, this is how you will feel. You will feel unconfident, no self-love whatsoever, and very lonely. So if you have any of this, then you are low on oxytocin. And now oxytocin is obviously corresponds to your fourth chakra. I think it's pretty your fourth and your second chakra. This is the most feminine chakras and the most feminine hormone. So if you want to, your second chakra is your pleasure, your sensuality, sensuality, your emotions, your inspiration. Your fourth chakra is your love, your connection, your bond with others. So these are the two chakras. And if you want to have more oxytocin, like me, you see, I don't have kids yet. I don't have pets. I live far away from my family. I mean, my mom comes and visits me, but for the most part, I'm it's not like I'm surrounded by people. I can if I choose to, but I never feel lonely. I never feel unconfident. I don't have self-love. Why? Because I produce oxytocin in huge quantities. Why? Because I constantly work on my feminine chakras. All my all my energy is balanced, I would say. But this hormone was always present in me. And so if you really want to, if you want to produce this hormone that makes you like this love ball, this ball of pleasure, then you need to work on these two chakras and to do something else that I'm going to tell you. All right, so oxytocin doesn't. What does it depend? What does it do in our body? Not only bonding with others, but besides that, it also improves our mood, not as much as the others. Now, also promotes the motivation and the creation. So when we have the second and fourth chakras um, like really developed, we start to create. And the same, when you are intimate with the man, when you feel good with him, when you get the pleasure, you do want to create, you want to have a child with him. This is what oxytocin does in our body. Now, how to increase this amazing hormone? As I already said, ideally would be is to bond with somebody, to have a partner, to have a man. That's not ideal. That's the easiest way, I would say. You basically, when you are hugging somebody, when you're laying somebody's arms, you producing this oxytocin. It has to be this kind of soft feeling, like real kind of love. It's not just that you have somebody, that would be serotonin, but it's that you are, this is where you bonding just on the feelings, you see. Like that, like it's really like dopamine was you create dopamine by connecting with people, but it's more on an inspiration level. You talk to somebody and somebody's super smart and you're like, oh my god, like this. But here the oxytocin will not be produced if you are inspired by somebody. Oxytocin produced when you are like really, oh my god, we're soulmates, like this is the feeling. So that's the one. When I even put here one-on-one communication. So when you are, maybe you and your best friend, or you and your partner, your man, and you're just talking like this, and you're feeling like he's opened up to you and you open up to him. I am all against that, but still, this is how oxytocin is produced, because I believe that there shouldn't be the certain boundaries should not be expressed. But this is how oxytocin is produced. Remember, it's produced by the mother when the child is in the womb, so there is no boundaries, obviously. But with the man, you need to keep the boundaries. Now, what else you can do? You can pets. Pets is an amazing thing. And when I was little, there was this kind of belief in my culture, at least, that if a woman could not have kids for some reason, she needs to get herself a pet, and then she will get pregnant. Honestly, I never understood this. Like, it didn't make no sense to me. But when I start studying hormones, I start to understand why that could be a possible kind of solution. Because when you have a pet, you playing with the cat, you care, you cuddle with the pet. You produce this unknowingly, this hormone oxytocin, and once you start producing it, you become more feminine. You have these two chakras developed, and you do want to create. You start wanting to create, and that's when you become you can create a child. Now, but pets are amazing, and I am noticing that a lot of men and women in my surroundings, especially masculine ones, they have the pets. They do get the pets and they care for them, and this is somebody who is bringing them this kind of hormone. So just having pets will not help you. You do need to interact with them, though, like cuddle with them, care for them. If you have a dog that lives outside somewhere in his own little house and you never see him, that's not really, that won't help you. You need to have a house pet, like somebody who is in your home and you really like watching TV together. I know that's not ideal, but that would help. What else? So you can go and babysit somebody else's cat or something. I don't know, become a sitter. What else? Another solution to get more oxytocin is you can support others. Be careful though with this. Don't become a crying shoulder for everybody to increase your own oxytocin. But to connect to people, you need to bring some kind of usefulness to them. And we often confuse that usefulness with care, like with this, with becoming a crying shoulder. You know how the saying goes, help a person once and they will remember about you when they need help next time. So don't become that, but supporting others, like volunteering in animal shelters or somewhere else, that's really also increases oxytocin. You feel like you care for somebody. It's really, really amazing. Volunteering would be really perfect. What else? Physical touch, so when somebody's touching you, when you're hugging somebody, they say that the person will be fully happy if they will hug somebody, I think 24 times a day or something, I'm not sure. And so, but that's, yeah, so if somebody touches you, like somebody who you really want to, it doesn't have to be a man, it could be maybe somebody close to you, maybe a friend of yours, or maybe your mom, or so somebody like that. Like I remember, when I used to be extremely masculine and work many hours, all I wanted from my man is for them just to hold me like this, just to hug me and hold me. So I really didn't need much anything from them. Like I didn't need them to care for me. I didn't need them to support me. I didn't even need intimacy. All I wanted for them is to just hold me like this, and I felt somewhat feminine. So, but I mean, obviously that was not very healthy and rather sad. But it was, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. But you shouldn't get to that. But if you in desperate need of oxytocin, then obviously do that. What else could be could be good for that? So positive talk. Anybody, you can even talk to yourself. So I have a mirror over here. You can just look in the mirror and tell, "Oh my God, Anastasia, you're so beautiful." Um, or something like that. So I can just talk to myself. It doesn't have to be somebody else who would give me this pep talk, but I could just talk to myself and just compliment myself. So something positive, some kind of positive talk again, some kind of inspiring, not inspiring, but more like exciting talk for your second chakra. What else? Any kind of positive interactions again. As I said, it doesn't have to be a man. It doesn't have to be your partner. It could be anybody. Like you and your friend went shopping. Yeah, it's not very inspiring. Yes, it's not. Again, there is no any kind of intimacy, but you guys had fun. You went. You look at the clothes together. You shared the knowledge, whatever, and it was fun. It was interesting, and that would be good, right? Again, as long as you don't start depending on that. What else? Feeling connected to others. So I was talking to this girl. She has a YouTube channel too, but she's not as popular. She's not as like she doesn't invest herself in YouTube. She mostly does TikTok also and Instagram. And so she told me, like I do videos, but I really don't. I mean, I love when you do when you are present here, when you ask questions, but thankfully I don't depend on that. But she does really. She really believes that she wants to be connected to others. And when she doesn't, so she keeps the social for that. But when she doesn't, she basically look for people. She needs to be connected. She will go to the pool and just talk to her neighbors or something. So connecting to others, feeling that you are part of some kind of group is basically what gives you oxytocin. And I told you a long time ago when I first moved here to Miami, there were a lot of this kind of women's circles when they would get together, hold arms, meditate, and they're really beneficial for women, especially masculine women. I don't say nothing to this, and I went quite a few times to the circles. Yeah, I even was a speaker on quite a few of them, but I always felt exhausted after because I would give away all my all my energy, all my good kind of energy to the group because we all. So if I am here and they're over here, we will have to kind of match. So for me, these feminine circles were not beneficial whatsoever. I mean, it was exposure for me, but they didn't give me nothing. But on the other hand, some of my masculine clients, some of my masculine friends, they would go, they loved them because they would get this boost of oxytocin. They felt like they belonged to the group. They would get them. So connecting to others, this feeling of connection to others does really help. And I think a lot of a lot of people, social media, that's what they do. That's what social media gives them, this connection to others. Again, you don't need to develop, you don't need to go, you don't need to be online to feel that. You can just develop, again, it's inside of you. Now, what else? That I put over here, feeling like you're on the same page, imagine yourself with others. That would all help. So if you imagine yourself with in a group, if you would like calculate all your friends and know that you are not alone in this world, you will have this hormone. What else? What I tell all the time, all of you and my clients, imagine yourself, if you don't have nobody, no friends, um, no partner, like you are completely all alone. When I was traveling, I was in other countries, and obviously I don't know anybody there. I was making friends, but at the beginning it was kind of, you by yourself in a different country. Again, I have no this issue, but I can understand. So what you do, you basically feel like you're melting into somebody else's arms. Like when I remember the first time I did it in Belgrade, in Serbia. So I felt, Serbia is a little like all the Balkans are a little a little tough, I would say. And I felt like maybe I would even feel like it was a little hostile at the beginning. Then I understand that people are just they're not fake, and that's it. They were just whatever. So, anyways, so how what I did, I came, I was sightseeing, and then I came home and I had some delicious food. I got my dopamine dopamines out, and then I basically sat on the couch. It was like a really cute couch, and I would just feel that I'm melting into the arms of Belgrade. I felt like Belgrade is basically hugging me, and I felt really really good. After that, I was doing it in every single country and city that I went to. For the first 3 days, that's what I would do. I would basically just sit and imagine that that city embraces me, that it holds me. It was giving me this oxytocin. Again, this is not like really the most important hormone for me, because I have a lot of this. I produce a lot of it myself. But at those moments, I mean, I'm coming to a new country and there is nobody waiting for me with open arms except for my Airbnb host, and I have to to find out everything on my own. And you kind of you feel a little bit off. So, but this is what you do. Again, if you are inspired to be a feminine woman, oxytocin is very important. All of them are important. All of them will make your life happier and much more vibrant. But oxytocin is very important. If you are not only inspired to be a feminine woman, but also a mother, also. Well, when you become a mother, I guess it will be produced automatically. All right. So that's it, really. Again, also, if you do need to work on your oxytocin, then your second and fourth chakras, the least you can do is breathe through them. It's not that hard. All right, so I will sum it up, but do please send this video to everybody who needs this kind of information. As I said, I was going through my old journals and I found this info, and I was really remember that time when I just got this information, and I was doing all of this. I wanted to make sure that I have a little bit of each hormone every single day. But then I realized that if all my energy is balanced, then I don't really need to work on one or the other. And how do you balance your energy? You work with all your energy centers. You exercise. You eat right. You basically have a good, a healthy lifestyle, and making sure that your energy is balanced. So you can come for an energy alignment with me. I do it once a month. I'm going to start it on Tuesday. So you can do that. I'll put in video what I can do for you. You can listen about energy alignment. I don't take everybody though. I will tell you at once. If I feel like you're not ready, I wouldn't take it. All right. So let me just sum it up. So the first one is dopamine. Hormones are very important for us, and all the hormones are basically corresponding to, there is different hormones that I didn't put in, like testosterone, adrenaline. Obviously those are hormones too, but I didn't put them in because today we're talking about the happy hormones, the good hormones that make your life kind of vibrant. Those are good, those are needed hormones too, but they are different. So we're talking about this one. So anyways, they all different hormones correspond to different chakras, and if you work with your energy, they will all of them will be balanced. But I understand we live in a society and in different we live in a society that doesn't, I wouldn't say doesn't prefer to be close to nature, but it just we don't really have much choice. So anyways, our mind and our body is not ready for the progress that we're living in, and because of that we basically start having issues with the hormones. So how to fix it, what to do? Now, the first one is dopamine. Basically it gets released when you do something pleasurable, when you eat something good, when you're having like an amazing inspired conversation with somebody, when you taking some kind of substances. So something, it has to be, it's basically like an achievement hormone, so like a reward hormone for something. So you just need to find out. You don't need uh, you don't need that. You just need to. So you basically need to find achievements. So that hormone will be produced without any kind of substances outside. Now, you can recreate those pleasurable moments yourself. That you will get dopamine again and again and again. Like for example, if you don't eat cakes, remember how the cakes taste, and here you go, the dopamine went up. You don't really need to eat the cake. All right, so the low dopamine would be you're procrastinating, you're depressed. Actually, a lot of diseases, like I think Parkinson's, also that's like a low dopamine for many years. Addictions, different kind of addictions, this is all low dopamine. So the solution is basically try to be less in front of the screen, any kind of screen. Clean the house, clean your closet, unclutter like the space around you. Do some kind of to-do list every day, and just check like little by little every single thing. Now, obviously, work on your second chakra and on your sixth chakra, or second chakra, on your third chakra and on your sixth chakra. What else? Cold plunges, perfect, or cold showers. This is just really good. I mean, just don't overdo that. Now, the second one is endorphins. Endorphins is basically they're supporting our immune system. So if you often sick, then you probably have issues with your endorphins. Now, it's like your body is basically shutting yourself out. Also, when you're stressed and angry, these are low endorphins. Now, how to increase them? This is basically this is second chakra and crown chakra. So work on them. What else you can do? Some kind of hard exercise, not long, just hard for like maybe 15-20 minutes. Intimacy, obviously. Saunas would be good, or going to the beach, so warm water, not a cold plunges. Singing, laughing, even if you don't feel like it's funny. Maybe even talking to yourself like loudly. Make sure though the voice comes from your second chakra. Good food, good sleep, stuff like that. All right. So then the serotonin regulates the mood, digestion, and the sleep. Very important kind of hormone. If you are worried, anxious, if you're constantly tired, if you're very like sad for no reason, then you don't have enough serotonin in your body, or it's low. And the solution could be, so this is the first chakra and the fourth chakra. So first chakra is basically grounding. What you can do, you can just go every morning for a walk. So basically, to increase serotonin, you need some kind of light exercise, or go for a swim if you live somewhere close to them, or water. So you need like vitamin D, you need sunlight. Nature would be better, and you need some kind of exercise. So if you will go for a morning like run or walk, would be perfect. Then you need to the slow kind of deliberately slow breathing would be good. Deep sleep, obviously. And the foods that are simple yet grounding, rich in tryptophan, fish, chicken, eggs, dairy, nuts if you are vegetarian. All right, so this, and then oxytocin, the last one. This is the love hormone. If you're inspired to be a feminine woman, you need to have it all the time. Now, it does produce on its own when you are basically when you're becoming a mother. But if you are not, then you can produce it yourself. So you can produce it even before becoming a mother, so to say. Now, low oxytocin, you feel lonely, you don't feel very confident, there is no self-love, like that. You basically feel like nobody loves you. It's terrible, honestly. Corresponds to your second and fourth chakras. So if you want them, you do work with them. And my if you took my course, it's all about the second and fourth chakra, I think, all the energetic exercises. Now, what else you can do? You can get yourself a pet, and basically just cuddle with the pet if you don't have anybody else. Ideally, you can, if you have friends, if you have a partner, you will have oxytocin. So with the partner, you basically just ask him to hold you, cuddle, maybe watch a movie together, something like that. Supporting others, so something like volunteering would be good for, don't volunteer your whole life, but maybe for a couple hours every other week would kind of bring you this connection to others, and also supporting others, so it will help. One-on-one, any kind of communication is a good one, like you and your friend are going for lunch together, that would increase your oxytocin. Any kind of socializing with feminine women like me would be also good. I mean, if they would want to socialize with you, because usually they don't need that. What else? Hugs. If you can hug somebody, do hug. It's a good thing. When I'm vacationing with my sister, we always hug. She always say, "Okay, we need to get 10 hugs a day," and that's what we do. All right. So any kind of positive interactions, I already said that. And if none of that is happening in your life, if you could not get yourself a pet, if you could not really interact with anybody, I mean, that would be very strange, honestly. That would be very awkward. Then imagine yourself melting into like your man's arms. And if you don't have a man, then imagine maybe somebody like some kind of like celebrity crush, and imagine he's sitting on your couch and you're just melting into him. You can do it with anything and with anybody. As I told you, I was doing it with the countries and cities that I was visiting, because I felt like they didn't love me enough. So you can do it with anything. You can do it with your work. Imagine your corporation that you're working for, and your corporation is basically hugging you, and you're holding and you're melting, like you don't feel your back, and just melting into that into the couch. But you imagine that you're melting into either somebody's arms, or just, you can do it with money. If you did my money meditation, that's basically what it is. You're melting into money. You can do that. All right, that's it. You see, 52 minutes. That's perfect. I didn't. I was thinking I would be done in 30 minutes, but that's good. Now, if you have any questions, please do ask. Again, I'm not really a medical professional like that. I'm only sharing with you what I shared, what was shared with me by my Reiki master. She even had a whole master class that she was doing, and I was attending it. So, like that. With oxytocin, though, it gives you the motivation. So if you don't feel like not only lonely and confident, but also if you're not like uncreative, don't have that spark, this is also low oxytocin. So do work on them. All right. So I will see you all next time on Saturday at 11 a.m. We're going to talk about self-love, talking about oxytocin and why self-love is important in the relationship. I think this is kind of an important subject, because I was doing this mistake for a long time, and I see a lot of people doing it as well. So Saturday 11 a.m. we meet again to talk about self-love. If you have any questions on the hormones, please do ask me. Don't ask me too complicated, like some kind of what kind of chemicals and all this, because I don't. I know that every single why the chakras are. You see, everything in our bodies are very well connected, and so every chakra corresponds to a particular hormone, and that's what makes that chakra so strong. It's a energy, like saturated energy, that creates its own energy field. You see, and it's important to understand that. When you understand this, your body is basically like a clock. There is nothing extra. There is nothing. Certain things are like everything is on its place, let's say, and it does make sense. But if you do have questions, please do ask. If it's within my my knowledge, I will answer them. But do implement this kind of this information, and do be happy. Again, if you work on your energy, on your aura, you wouldn't need to do none of this. It would be like me right now. I could say that I have all these hormones. I don't have none of those feelings. I mean, eventually, sometimes I do, but they are not chronic. So sometimes I can feel like tired. I mean, obviously, if I work too much or sad, no, not really. Lonely, no. Unconfident, maybe. Sometimes. Angry, no, very, very rarely. Stressed, I don't think so. Depressed, no, for many years, no. Procrastinating could be. So, anyways, what I want to say is that if your energy is balanced, if your aura is balanced, you would have no issues whatsoever. All your hormones will be perfect, and they will be aligned, and you will feel amazing. You will feel like you're walking on clouds, like you just flowing with your day. And you just need to make sure that you are putting enough equal efforts into every single chakra, so it wouldn't be unbalanced. You see, at one point I only worked on my fourth and second chakra, so I had a lot of oxytocin, I had a lot of love to give, but yet I didn't have no dopamines at all, and I was lost. I didn't know what to do with all this kind of, you need to make sure that all the hormones are balanced. Now, for the most part, right now I do work on my dopamines for the most part, and on testosterone, because I'm producing more like masculine energy in me. Anyways, but it's all balanced. Everything is balanced. There's nothing that unbalanced. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, TikTok. You will give me great support today. Bye, everybody. And bye, YouTube. Thank you. If you have questions, do ask. If not, I will see you on Saturday at 11 a.m. Bye, everybody. Enjoy your Wednesday evening.